Welcome to the Sunday night broadcast. I do this every Sunday night at 7 p.m. Spanish time. If you'd like to join the broadcast live with us, you just need to subscribe via my website on Patreon, and it's only $10 a month. I also do a Wednesday night chat group, and the details are there. And I also do one-to-one sessions. And at the moment, because of the situation we're in, sorry, not I'm in, I'm offering reduced prices for those who can't afford full if you're interested in that, just drop me an email. Hi, Jan. Sorry. What else? Everything else is just like on hold. The book's on hold. The retreat's been cancelled. Hopefully we'll all be up and running again soon. Yeah, I think that's it. So there is no message. To give a message would imply that there's something more than what is. It would imply that there is something to be found, that there's something to be done, that there's something more. But can anything else happen apart from what is happening? Even if we have the idea, I can change something, that's just instantaneous. And then we might change something, but we can't do anything. We can't do that action which isn't happening. The action just happens on its own. You know, sometimes I feel like, oh, I want to do something different, or like, having some crazy ideas about maybe living further out in the countryside. And they're just crazy ideas, and the crazy ideas just appear on their own. And whether they happen or not is not up to me, really. I can't do anything about it. Things just, hi, Joy. Things just happen as they happen. There's nothing that can be done about it. If an action will be taken, it'll be taken. I can't sit here and think about, I need to take an action. I'll either have those ideas or I won't. I don't know if I have any free will and choice. I don't know if there is such thing as free will and choice, because everything just appears right here. And I don't know if there is free will and choice in that. Sorry. I don't talk very much these days, so I think my voice goes a bit. He's the cure. And actually, it doesn't matter. None of it matters. Not really. It only matters when we think that, only matters if we think it's going to make a change, but all we worry about is that it matters and what we have to do about it. Because we're never going to get to a place where everything is suddenly finished or done or completed. Nothing's ever completed. Try to find completed. It will never be here. We can complete a project, perhaps, and then move on to another project. But that doesn't mean that life can be completed. Look at life right here now. Just look at it now. Is this complete or is it not complete? How would we know that? How would we know what a place of completion looks like? That's all just in the imagination, or in the belief of what we've been told of what completion is, what completion looks like, and all the different myriads of paths we have to take to get to this ideal of completion. And each idea of completion always looks different. They often have bliss involved in them. And then they're accompanied by lots of other ideas, like, well, nothing will be a problem any longer. Well, we'll find that that's not really true, is it? Because some things are going to happen in life which are unpleasant, and nothing is going to change that. Otherwise, we'd just be like a piece of rock, untouched by life. And who wants to be untouched by life? That would be actually really boring in the end. So we're told about all these things, and people talk about where the place they've reached, but actually it's just another person talking. We'll never know where they're at. They could be telling the truth or they could be lying, but to us, we'll never know. Or they might convince themselves they've reached a place. But the only place there is here. And we don't even know if that's a place or not. There's just here. There's just sitting in a room. And that's not a message, is it? That's just sitting in a room. What else is there? Any other place we look for will just be in the mind. It's just all thought in the end. There's nothing wrong with that because, it just is. But in the end, it is just all thought. And there is a beautiful freedom from that idea that there's a thing called completion that is on down the line. No, it doesn't matter what sort of religion or set of concepts that we belong to, they're always somewhere down the line. And why are they always somewhere down the line? Because they're just concepts. They're not here. They're not real. They're ideals. And thousands upon thousands of people are struggling to get to these ideals. When there's only about, a handful of people at the top of these ideals, which are putting it, teaching it. Why is there only a handful of people who have reached this ideal and everybody else hasn't? Why is there an elite of enlightened people when all the rest of the people are not? It's because they're teaching a concept of something that's down the line. Somewhere you're not, which you have to strive towards by surrender or awareness or awakening or getting rid of conditioning or the nihilistic approach of non-duality. But even that suggests that there's something down the line. If I don't do anything, that's the thing with non-duality, isn't it? Well, there's nothing I can do because there is no way to do anything, so I can't do anything. So it's all hopeless. But even people try to practice that because they think there's something down the line. Well, where is the line? Where is this down the line? It's in the thoughts. It's not actually real. We've been taught it. And it keeps us in bondage to the idea that I'm not complete. This is not complete. Because this doesn't comply to a set of rules and regulations stipulated by the people who teach concepts. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. People can do what they want. It doesn't matter. There's thousands upon thousands of people teaching stuff. That doesn't matter. That's just life, isn't it? But if we live under the thumb of those teachings where we feel like we're never going to get there, of course we're never going to get there. Because we're kind of trying to get to dreamland. Because everybody's unsatisfied with their life. And we've been taught to be unsatisfied with our life. And of course, life is sometimes unsatisfying. Hi, Phyllis. Sometimes we don't have enough money, or we don't have someone to love, or we don't have the best job, or we're not enjoying something. And often that comes from measuring up against others. That's often a measurement or a judgment and comparisons. There's so many comparisons that happen in this life. And the same with the spiritual path. There's always a comparison. Well, they seem more at peace than me. Well, how do we know that? They might have a nice, peaceful exterior, but how do we know? All these empty comparisons, they're not going to get us anywhere. because we're just sitting in a room. And there's a beautiful freedom from that. Endless comparisons to teachers and speakers, and even just to other people generally. I've been to those places where, everybody, it's the person with the hand over the heart the longest, the person with the least makeup, or the longest stare, the one who's sitting with their eyes closed while everyone's chatting around them, as if, we see something special in that. Why would we see something special in that? It's nonsense. There's nothing special in anything. Either everything is special or nothing is special. There's no special human beings. But for some reason, we tend to compare ourselves to others and to teachers, especially teachers. And then we go looking for confirmation in that teacher. The amount of times that some teachers have had to tell, people have gone up to teachers and said, am I there yet? Am I there yet? Is my me gone yet? Have I reached the level yet? Like in, Buddhism or this or that. Always going to, get scraps of hope from the teacher when we don't even know that person. We just take it on board and we trust in what somebody's saying about our lives. Nobody knows our lives. Nobody can judge anybody for where they're at, because they're just where they're at. They're an expression of this life. Totally an expression of this life, without right and wrong. Free to be whatever they are, already free. To be at peace or to be fucked up or somewhere in between, it doesn't really matter. Doesn't matter. That's the beauty of life, isn't it? That everything's free to be as it is. Because everything is as it is.